Every Call of Duty has a best and a worst gun, and today we're going to start something new. If it's something you guys enjoy, drop a like if you would like to make this a new COD history series on the channel. Show some love and let me know. Today, we are going to go over the worst gun in every single Call of Duty. Like I said, we can make this a series. We can make this a series where we go over the worst and best of kill streaks, maps. We are going to pick out from each Call of Duty the worst gun. Now, we are only going to do primary weapons in this video because otherwise this whole list would be pistols. But if this is something you guys want to continue, drop a like. The PlayStation 4 giveaway is active. All you have to do is drop that like. Make sure you subscribe to the channel with your post notifications on. In the comment section, tell me, what do you want for Christmas? And include your Twitter handle. Also, this is powered by Scuf Gaming. If you guys get anything from Scuf, make sure you use promo code CHAOS. Link is in the description. And here we go. We're going to start off with COD 4. We're not going to do COD 1, 2, or 3, okay? We're going to start off when COD really went mainstream. And you guys can let me know if you agree or disagree with these, because obviously we're going to have different lists. COD 4, the M60. Now, I wanted to start this off with a very controversial pick. I mean, the gun sucked. It was a light machine gun, had some of the highest bullet damage in the game for any automatic gun, but it had disgusting iron sights, the recoil was unmanageable, and it had extremely slow handling, which is going to be obvious with an LMG. So while you could drop people in 2 shots from pretty much anywhere on the map, you would move super slow and methodical, and it was insanely hard to be consistent with the thing because of how unpredictable the kick was. There's a few other stinkers in COD 4, the Scorpion, the Dragunov, obviously, but both of those guns were actually really good in hardcore modes. The M60, on the other hand, was bad everywhere. And if you ask me, I think it's the worst gun in the game. And I know, you guys, a lot of you aren't going to agree with that one, but that's what gets the conversation going and gets your blood boiling. Let's go on. Next up, we have World at War. I am going to go with the trench gun. All things considered, World at War was actually a pretty balanced game. Sure, there was a couple guns that were a little too good, but there wasn't really anything that stood out at being particularly bad. However, going over the forums from that time and just recalling my own experience with the game, I'm going to go with the trench gun. Now, World at War only had 2 shotguns, the trench gun and the double barrel. And while the double barrel was pretty hit or miss, it still had some pretty insane kill potential. But the trench gun, well, it was extremely inconsistent. While it could carry more shells and you could spam it a little bit, it was never quite as effective as just taking the double barrel, which was virtually always a one-shot kill. Now, you may not agree with this because, like I said, World at War was a pretty balanced game aside from the MP40, and I'm sure you guys will let me know what you think in the comments. Modern Warfare 2, a game where everything was overpowered, right? Well, not exactly. The Wawa. The WA-2000 is that sniper from Modern Warfare 2 that everyone remembers, but nobody actually used. It was a semi-automatic spam gun. It had ridiculously high fire rate caps at 1,200 rounds per minute, but the trade-off for that is the fact that it was extremely weak and it had very unpredictable recoil, which made it hard to really take advantage with its fire rate. Now, the WA-2000 would hit for 70 damage, 50 if you were using the suppressor, and the default mag was only 6 shots, meaning you would be reloading a lot, and the reload animation was 3.5 seconds long. And in a game like Modern Warfare 2, that's an eternity. Plus, the worst part about the WA-2000 was the fact that it was playing a role that nobody wanted. If you wanted a sniper for killing people in one shot, you had the intervention in the Barrett. If you wanted a DMR, you had the FAL in the M14. Both of the WA-2000's roles were filled by better guns, which left it forgotten. At least it had a smiley face on the scope cap. Moving right along to Black Ops 1. You knew it was going to be here. The Olympia. I could have put the China Lake, but that's not a primary. The Olympia was garbage. This double barrel shotgun is unlocked right from the start of the multiplayer, and while it does have impressive pellet damage, pretty much everything else is working against it. Low ammo capacity, bad range, a slow reload speed, it can't hold any attachments, no ADS accuracy bonus, and it didn't have any damage multipliers. Now, the gun has a cult following, kind of. I'm assuming it's a joke, it's a troll, but it does. It's statistically one of the worst guns in the game, and if you ask me, it's definitely deserving of being on this list because it's really, really bad. And if you guys want to see the best from each Call of Duty, let me know. Okay, moving right along to Modern Warfare 3. We're going to stick with the sniper rifle theme here. The Dragunov. Now, I'm willing to bet some of you forgot it was even in Modern Warfare 3. Semi-automatic sniper actually shares a lot of similarities with the WA 2000, and that is not a good thing, my friends. Just like that gun, it would hit for 70 damage by default, and then 50 with a suppressor. Why would you run a Dragunov with a suppressor? I don't know. But unlike Modern Warfare 2, this didn't have stopping power to make up for the low damage. The only way to get a one-shot kill with the Modern Warfare 3 Drag was a headshot. Otherwise, you had to hit him twice. And good luck doing that because the recoil was unforgiving. Now, it did have a 10-round mag by default and a very high fire rate cap. But the recoil, it ruined this thing. And just like the WA, there's other guns. If you wanted a sniper for killing in one shot, you had the MSR, the Barrett, the L11, and the AS-50. If you wanted a spam gun, you had the MK14 and the RSASS. I mean, there's no reason to use the Dragunov other than going for challenges, which probably made you pull your hair out. Black Ops 2, so many good guns in this game. If we have to do a good list, it's gonna be hard. But for the bad list, I'm going with the S12. Let's add another shotgun to the pile. Black Ops 2 is seen by many as the best balanced Call of Duty game, but that does not mean there weren't any outliers. One of which was the S12. Semi-automatic shotgun, you got right out of the gate. Now, it did boast a 10-round mag by default, but it had very low damage, which it was bad for a shotgun. 6 damage per pellet. While it's technically possible to kill with one shot at point-blank range, the drop-off was brutal. And the shots, they would disappear at 15 meters, making it underperform even in hardcore, which is where guns are supposed to shine. It didn't help that the S12 had a pitiful fire rate cap of only 468 rounds per minute. This thing, it was dookie, and I'm confident saying it was the worst primary weapon in Black Ops 2. I am. Moving right along to Call of Duty Ghosts. The Amelie. Raise your hand if you remember the Amelie. It's a light machine gun. It was a cheap early game weapon, right? It would fire slowly, hit hard. Well, it was supposed to hit hard. It fired at 631 rounds per minute, and it hit for a juicy 50 damage at close range. That's good. But that would decrease rapidly down to 30, making it a 4-shot kill, and a slow-firing 4-shot kill weapon is the exact opposite of what you needed in a game like Ghosts. It also didn't help that the Amelie had a very, very, very slow reload time, very, very high recoil, and a huge hipfire spread, and the handling speeds were garbage. LMGs in general were kind of underwhelming in Ghosts, but the Amelie was the worst of the worst. Now we have Advanced Warfare. Ooh, man, the EPM3. It was weird. It was weird. It was one of the heavy weapons in Advanced Warfare, and it was a semi-automatic energy launcher, and it did claim to have the best range in its class. It still maxed out at dealing only 34 damage per shot, so I'm not really sure how impressive Sledgehammer thought it was going to be. Like I said, the EPM3 fired a semi-automatic, okay? And it did 34 damage. Made it a 3-shot kill with all ranges and a fire rate cap of 1,200 rounds per minute. You could get some cheesy kills with it, mind you. But the trade-off was the fact that it overheated pretty easily, and if you ever tried to use this thing, you probably know how frustrating it was to fight someone, hit them twice, and then lose the fight because your gun decided to overheat when you needed it to just hit them one more time. Sledgehammer games definitely have some unique ideas for guns. This one was interesting, but it wasn't any good. But there was a variant, like the red laser beam variant or something, maybe it was. Or maybe, no, I'm thinking something else. I think I'm thinking the EM1, yeah. At number 3, hear me out, the Gorgon. Do you guys remember when Black Ops 3 first came out and people's minds were blown because there was a 2-shot kill LMG in the game? But then, when you tried to use it, then you immediately went back to something else. The Gorgon was unlocked at level 7, and it hit for 59 damage a pop. It was a beast. It came loaded with a ton of downsides, though. It had a very low fire rate at only 327 rounds per minute. The reload time was long, and the handling speeds were abysmal, which wasn't exactly preferable for a game where people are running on walls and flying around the map at you. The Gorgon was pretty much only good if you sat in a corner, stayed aiming down your sights, and that is not how you're supposed to play Call of Duty, people. It wasn't the best strategy for Black Ops 3 because people would just flank you on the walls, and I think it's the worst gun in the game. I know this one's going to be a controversial pick, but I'm sticking with it. Now we've reached Infinite Warfare time. The HVR. It's a weird gun because it was basically just a futuristic version of the UMP-45, but Infinite Warfare also had the actual UMP-45 in multiplayer, and it was better than the HVR in every way. It's weird. Unlocked at level 32, it was a submachine gun that came equipped with a 26-round mag, very low damage, super bouncy recoil. While it did have the best range in the SMG class, its damage didn't make up for that. Plus, like I said, the actual UMP-45 was in Infinite Warfare as one of the classic weapons, and it was better in literally every aspect, so the HVR served no purpose. In hardcore, it had potential, but so did everything else in the game. It was a super forgetful weapon with no real place in that sandbox. All right, we've reached Call of Duty World War II. I'm gonna go with the sawed-off shotgun. It quickly became a meme in the COD community after the game launched due to its pitiful damage and its extremely slow reload time. There's a constant debate in the community over which shotgun was worse, because there was also the M30 double barrel, which sucked too, but at least that gun had some additional range and you could put the rifle bullet on it. The sawed-off, on the other hand, it was crap. A few months after release, it was buffed, but it was still the worst gun in the game. It had inconsistent damage, super slow reload time, and a non-existent range. So, to me, that earns it a list. Okay, we have reached Black Ops 4. The VKM750. Now, this is an annoying gun, and if you're camping in a corner or a head glitch with it, you're probably going to get some work done. But in just about every other context, this thing was crap. It was a light machine gun, very slow firing, did have the benefit of being able to kill in 3 shots, but because Black Ops 4 was such a fast game with so many melty guns, a 3-shot kill while firing at only 360 rounds per minute, that's not what you want. And you would often find people just walking in between your bullets because they were coming out of the barrel so slowly. Now, the heavy bullets operator mod was definitely annoying, but at the end of the day, it didn't help that much. I think it was the worst gun in that game. And at number 1, we have Modern Warfare. Now, the FAL just got buffed, okay? But I still think it's one of the least competitive guns in this game. In a game as fast as Modern Warfare with a TTK that is up there, people drop you before you even react. The last thing you need is a semi-automatic rifle that takes up to 3 bullets to kill and it has unhelpful recoil. The recoil was toned down, I know. That doesn't change the gun's other weaknesses. It has low damage, long reload time, and relatively long time to kill. So why would you ever use the FAL over the M4, the Kilo, the SCAR, anything else? You wouldn't. Infinity Ward has been pumping out patches for Modern Warfare, so it wouldn't surprise me if the FAL is going to get another buff soon, possibly even before this video goes live. But for the time being, it is my pick for the worst gun in that game. And there you have it, my friends. New series possibly. If you guys support it, you let me know. We can do all kinds of cool stuff where we pick something from each Call of Duty title. There's another video on the screen right now. It's a COD history video. Go check that one out, and I'll see you soon.